Hello and welcome to Insomniac Productions, where we bring content for you in the late AM because we know you're still up. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I think a lot of people have asked both in America and other countries and even in Korea itself. And that question is K-pop overrated? Some would argue yes, but I think its popularity is understandable due to a multitude of factors. First of all, the exposure to K-pop is at an all-time high thanks to the internet and social media. You think 10 years ago, YouTube was in its infancy still, and most other platforms didn't really have the capability of sharing music videos like it does now. And so, in recent years, when you see K-pop videos exploding to popularity at unrivaled heights of hundreds of millions of views in record times, well, it's because of streaming and other capabilities and being able to be seen from anywhere in the world. I think that Korean pop would have been popular, maybe not to the same level, but it would have still been popular even before many years ago if it had the same outlets that it had today. And so I think that to say that it's overrated is sort of an overstatement. I think it's fine where it's at, and it's catching up in the popularity it probably would have had it been able to be seen at an earlier date. Though K-pop is making major strides in other countries and different TV shows all around the world, it doesn't mean that they're overrated or too popular. It's simply the fact that that exposure that I talked about just now is why it's gaining so much traction in the first place. YouTube itself was a great outlet for other content creators and people who are now huge and successful. I mean, think of other musicians. As an example, in America, Justin Bieber, he became very successful through YouTube videos, and though that's not the same way that Korean pop stars ended up gaining their success and fame, it's easy to see the virality in those videos because of said exposure through YouTube and other sites like it. And on top of that, Korean pop music and other genres in Korean music, not just K-pop, though we tend to generalize K-pop as all Korean music. It's not. It's just what we say. The thing about K-pop that seems to blow it up to viral levels of success is the fact that they combine elements that not every artist does here in the States or in other countries even. As example, choreography, crazy music videos, crazy themes, and super catchy and infectious choruses and songs that, yes, while we have some of those elements here, we don't combine all of them. And I think that's one of the reasons that those videos exploded in the first place. They're just different than what we're used to. As an example, BTS's choreography, or EXO, or Blackpink, or Girls' Generation, or AOA, any of these other groups, all of their choreography, all of their weird and different videos, they contribute to their virality, and I think that's another reason as to why they became so widely popular in the first place. I mean, a lot of videos in America and in other places don't have super crazy themes to them. We have maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit out there, but they're not to the same level. So to answer that question, is K-pop overrated? I think that it's not necessarily overrated. It's definitely gaining popularity, and it's definitely extremely popular as we speak, but I think it's mostly just catching up to the popularity it would have had years ago had it had the exposure of the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also if it would have been easily accessible through other outlets as well. I mean, if we had Korean pop music videos playing on TV here, it would have probably exposed us to it a long time ago, and it would have been at the popularity it is now years ago, and probably not much larger, but who knows where it'll go from here. I think that obviously there are some groups that get way too much praise for what they do. There are groups out there that are extremely popular and extremely famous now due to the success of their videos and music and whatnot. But I think that, you know, there are some exceptions, and I think that to tackle them and say that all of Korean music, now that it's exposed, is overrated is a bit much, at least at this point. Will the popularity of K-pop continue to grow? I think there's a chance, yes, it's definitely going to continue growing as more people get used to it, as more people get exposed to it, because there are still people here who haven't been exposed to K-pop or J-pop or German pop or other things like that. With more and more people being exposed to it, I think that it will eventually level out on popularity. I think that it'll grow for a little while more, but eventually it's going to plateau. Just like all forms of music, and because the internet is becoming such a crazy place where people can post videos, get viral hits immediately, you know, people can stream for days on end on it. I think other genres and other places of music will also come in. K-pop's going to stay strong as well. I think that it's going to plateau, but is it overrated? No. I think that that's a wildly exaggerated thing. Just because it blew up on popularity doesn't mean that it's overrated, just that, oh, this thing caught on. It could be flavor of the decade and then it could vanish, but I don't think so. I think it's the fact that the internet now allows us to see these things that we couldn't see before, that's why it's so popular, and I think that's why it grew to the level that it is and will continue to be there. So no, I don't think it's overrated, but you can let me know what you think down below. I think that there are arguments to be made for both sides, but in my opinion, the biggest argument is just that the internet allowed us to see the things that we couldn't see before from other countries and other places, and that's the biggest reason we're able to see it now and have it grow to such viral heights. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think K-pop is overrated? Do you think that it's perfect where it's at and then it's probably going to plateau, or do you think it's underrated? I would like to hear an argument for that, because I don't think that it's underrated, but feel free to make that argument down below if you want. That does it for me, though. This was just a quick video on my mind. I've been asked, and I've seen people ask this before and have curiosity about whether or not they really think it's overrated. So I just wanted to give my thoughts on it real quick. But that does it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you can answer that question as well and maybe make points that I didn't even know. That does it for me, though. I will see you guys in the next video. And remember, civil discussion for Kpop Overrated. Goodbye.